Hey, what's up everybody? This is Todd Bowen from sittingposture.com. Welcome to today's video, how to cold plunge on a budget. Some quick fine print to get out of the way. My content is not medical advice. It's based off my experience and my opinions. I talk about good habits that have helped me live a higher quality sedentary lifestyle, and cold plunging has definitely been one of them over about the last 4 months or so. Do your research, make good decisions, and be the best advocate possible for your own healthcare. Nothing in this video is paid promotion. I'm not compensated by any manufacturers. I paid my own money for these products, which have all helped me improve my computer posture. So let's get into it. Number one, the first thing you're gonna need is some kind of container to hold the water and yourself. So they have expensive tanks that are specifically made for this, and they're probably pretty great. I've never used one, but you can adjust the temperature. So you probably don't have to use any ice, but those could cost thousands of dollars, and that's not very realistic for a lot of us, including me. Or you could go a less expensive route. If you have a house in a backyard or an outdoor area where you're able to buy a large plastic tub, they're often shaped like a bathtub or a big barrel. Those could cost hundreds of dollars. I've seen them cost anywhere from like $150 to $800. But finally today, what we're going to talk about is just a bathtub that everybody has. Obviously, the first thought that comes to mind is the bathtub is small, unless you live in a big house with a big bathroom. But the average tub is small, and for an above average height guy like me who's 6'3", it's not ideal. However, I also think there's an advantage to that, because what I do is I will, once all the water and the ice is in there and I get it at the right temperature, I'll just sit in it for the first half of my ice bath. So say if I'm going to sit in there for 2 minutes, for example, then the first minute I'm just sitting in there and getting my lower body. The second minute I will slide down, kick my feet up on the wall, and do my upper body for that second minute. So the advantage, in my opinion, is it's almost like the stress of taking 2 separate cold plunges, but logistically it's just one with the ice and the water, and getting the temperature right. And the time, and as far as the time and effort goes as well. And also, in my opinion, another advantage is it's definitely more beneficial than not doing any cold plunge at all. If you're using a smaller tub and doing that 2-zone type approach, lower body for the first half, upper body for the second half of the cold plunge. Number 2, we're gonna need some ice. The ice maker doesn't produce enough in my apartment or any average ice machine. Bags of ice, the other option would be bags of ice from the store, going to get those every day, which could be very inconvenient and costly. I started buying a lot of cheap ice trays on Amazon and just put them in my freezer. However, that just takes too much time and effort. That takes a long time, and it's very time consuming. So what I did do, excuse me while I jump away real quick, is I bought some 6-quart plastic storage containers from Target. They were $1.50 each, and just fill it up with water and put it in the freezer. And what it gives you, excuse me one more second, what it ends up giving you is this big, huge block of ice. And this will freeze probably about after, I'd say about 12 hours or so. After 8 hours, it's frozen. But in order for it to be solid, big block of ice, I'd say about 12 hours. You don't want to drop that on your foot. That's very, very heavy. But anyway, that's what I've been doing lately, is just taking these big plastic storage containers. I got them from Target for $1.50 each. I thought about using one bigger than 6 quarts, but that was just like serious heavy, very, very heavy. And could be possibly very, very dangerous if I dropped it anywhere near my foot. So I'm good enough with the 6 quarts. I use about 4 of them. Luckily, I don't store a lot of frozen foods in my freezer, so I have plenty of room for them in there. I fill them up with water and like I said, every morning, let them freeze for 24 hours, then take my ice baths in the morning. So these 4 storage containers, I've gotten my water down to about 51 degrees today. I wrote this a couple of days ago, these notes 53 degrees, but today 51 degrees Fahrenheit. A good external variable tip though, which I learned, it took me a while to learn this, keep the water level minimal, because if you fill the tub all the way up, you throw ice in there, it's just gonna overflow. which is not ideal when we're inside our bathroom. But another thing is keeping the water very, very high. You're going to need more and more ice to cool all that water down. So if the water's lower, it's less water to be cooled down with the ice. So when this big block of ice melts, it will get the water temperature lower with the minimal amount of water. Number 3, what we're going to need is some water. Obviously, it doesn't cost me any money because it's included in the cost of living here, and also it's in the bathtub, so I don't have to transport it or anything. So that's super convenient for me. I do understand some people need to pay for their water usage, so that will depend on that. Number 4, a thermometer. I got a digital floating thermometer from Amazon for $10. I've seen them for a little bit more expensive than 10, but 10 is the least expensive I've seen. A thermometer is optional, but it's beneficial for me because the water temperature can vary depending on the water level, how much ice I use, how long I let the ice melt, and stuff like that. So I do enjoy using a digital floating thermometer. Number 5, a stopwatch. I use it on my phone, no money. Everybody with a smartwatch has got a stopwatch on their phone. And it's beneficial for me because I stay in the water longer when the water is warmer. So my cold water will vary anywhere from 51 degrees up to like 61 degrees Fahrenheit, just depending on how much water I put in, how much ice, how much time I have to let the ice melt, stuff like that. So I do stay in the water longer when it's warmer. And these temperatures and times, they're not any type of recommendation whatsoever. This is just where I am on my path right now. As far as cold plunging goes, when I first started, I couldn't even take a cold shower for 10 seconds. My whole left side of my body would lock up. I think it's because, regards to computer posture, the left side of my body is the dominant side, even though I'm right-handed. The left side is my dominant side as far as repetitive strain. Holding a keyboard. On my right side, I'll hold a keyboard, but I'll also open up and use a mouse. You can't see me doing that, but you can see my shoulder rotating out externally just a little bit. So all day long, I'm rotating that. But the left shoulder is internally rotated right now. You can see that. And it just stayed there all day for years, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. So that, holding a phone, I always do with my left hand. Holding a steering wheel, I always do with my left hand. So those things right there, I think is what caused me to start off slowly with a cold shower and work my way up to a minute or two, depending on how cold the water is in the actual bathtub. So let's do a quick summary here. $0 for the container if we use the bathtub that is in the house or apartment that we live in. $6 for the ice. Obviously the water costs money for water usage if you have to pay for that, but $6 for the containers to hold the ice at Target, just a one-time fee. The water, $0 for me. I'm lucky, but it depends on if you have to pay for your water usage, but that's just the way it goes. And the next 2 are optional. Digital thermometer, $10 one time on Amazon, and a stopwatch I use on my smartphone, which everybody has. So $6 for the ice containers and $10 for the digital floating thermometer. $16 is all I paid for the one-time fees, plus the usage of the water, whatever that may cost. And that's it for today's video, how to cold plunge on a budget. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're taking a big step forward in improving the quality of your life and your computer posture. And cold plunge has helped me out a ton in improving my posture over about the last 4 months or so that I've been doing it as of the time of recording this video. So if you want to keep up with all my content, sign up for free email updates. My email newsletter is called Computer Posture Weekly. It's at sittingposture.com/newsletter, and I'll also put that link in the description of this video. What it is, I send out 1 email a week on Fridays. It will contain the article that I wrote for my website that week, as well as the 2 YouTube videos that I posted to my YouTube channel that week. And of course, if you like this video, if it helps you out, do me a favor, hit the like button. That always helps me out. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see my videos in your feed more often, or just go to sittingposture.com/newsletter. That's the best way to keep up with all my content that I create. I want to thank you guys. This is it. That's it for today's video, how to cold plunge on a budget. This is Todd from sittingposture.com. All right, take care, everybody.